The Secret Affair, a luxurious hotel room in the heart of London. Rain drizzled against the tall glass windows, the city lights reflecting in the droplets like tiny stars. Inside, a woman in a red dress stood near the bar, swirling a glass of wine in her hand. Across from her, a man loosened his tie, his dark eyes fixed on hers. "Do you always meet strangers like this?" she asked, her voice smooth like silk. The man smirked. "Only when the stranger is as captivating as you." Her name was Isabella, his Adrian. They had met earlier that evening at a charity gala where stolen glances had turned into whispered words, and whispered words had led them here. There was an unspoken tension between them, a fire waiting to be ignited. Adrian walked closer, the distance between them vanishing. Isabella felt her pulse quick as his fingers lightly traced the edge of her glass. Before taking it from her hands, he took a slow sip, his eyes never leaving hers. "You have secrets," she murmured. "I can see it in your eyes." Adrian chuckled, placing the glass down. "And yet you followed me here." She tilted her head. "Maybe I like a little mystery." The air between them was electric. The city outside was a blur. The only thing that mattered was the heat between them. Adrian reached out, brushing a stray strand of hair from Isabella's face. His touch was gentle, yet it sent shivers down her spine. Just as their lips were about to meet, Isabella suddenly pulled away. "Wait," she whispered, her eyes searching his. "Why do I feel like I've seen you before?" Adrian's expression flickered. It was only for a second, but she caught it, a glimpse of something deeper, something hidden. "You haven't," he said smoothly, but his voice carried an edge. Now Isabella stepped back, her mind racing, and then it hit her, a news article, a face in the background of a crime report. "You're the one they're looking for," she whispered. "You're." Before she could finish, the sound of a gun cocking echoed through the room. Adrian didn't move, but his eyes darkened. Isabella turned slowly, her breath catching in the shadows. A figure emerged, an armed man dressed in black. "You should have stayed out of this, Isabella," the man said, his voice dripping with menace. Adrian's jaw clenched. "Let her go. She has nothing to do with this." The man smirked. "Too late for that." And just like that, the perfect night turned into a nightmare. The Secret Affair Part 2. The air inside the luxurious hotel room turned ice cold. The man in black, his gun steady, took a slow step forward. Isabella's heart pounded as she glanced at Adrian, searching for any sign of reassurance, but Adrian's face had darkened, his usual charm replaced by something else, something dangerous. "Drop the gun, Adrian," said, his voice steady, controlled. The armed man chuckled. "You think I'm stupid? After all, I know who you really are." Adrian's eyes flickered with something unreadable. Isabella's mind was spinning. Who was Adrian? A fugitive, a spy, a criminal? "Adrian," she whispered, unsure of whether to run or stay. He turned to her, his expression softening for just a second. "Trust me," the man in black laughed again. "Oh, sweetheart, you really shouldn't." And then bang, the room exploded into chaos. The escape. Adrian lunged forward, grabbing Isabella. Just as the gun fired, the bullet whizzed past her, shattering the mirror behind them. In one swift motion, Adrian reached into his jacket and pulled out a gun of his own. The man in black cursed and fired again, but Adrian was faster. With precise aim, he shot the gun out of the attacker's hand. The weapon clattered to the floor. "Run!" Adrian shouted, pulling Isabella towards the door. They bolted out of the room, sprinting down the dimly lit hallway. Alarms started blaring. The gunshots had triggered the hotel's security system. "Who was that?" Isabella gasped as they reached the elevator. "No time to explain," Adrian muttered, jabbing the button. The doors slid open, and they rushed inside. As the elevator descended, Isabella's mind raced. She had thought this night would be a passionate escape, a thrilling affair, but now she was running for her life when the doors opened to the underground parking lot. Adrian grabbed her hand and led her to a sleek black car. "Get in," he ordered. Isabella hesitated. "I don't even know who you are." Adrian looked at her, his expression unreadable. "I'll tell you everything, but we need to go now." Hearing the sound of footsteps behind them, Isabella made her choice. She jumped into the car, and Adrian floored the gas pedal. The tires screeched as they sped out of the hotel, disappearing into the rainy London night. The truth unfolds. For a few minutes silence filled the car, except for the sound of rain hitting the windshield. Isabella's mind was a mess. Finally, she spoke. "Who was that man, and why was he after you?"